I'm Giorgio Baldini, and today I'll be showing you how to draw a realistic portrait of Billie Eilish in PanPastel and mixed media colored pencils. Here are the materials that I have chosen to use, and first off, I'm starting off with the background. So I'm just getting in a dark basic green shade, starting with green and then black over the top and then green again. Once I've done the background, now I'm going to start with the eyes. For this tutorial, I'm using colored pencils because I find colored pencils are much easier to get in finer details for the eyes. I'm also adding white gel pen over for the brightest shadows to pop. According to Kathy Arbor, it's important to make sure that you have a paper that does not have too much tooth for this drawing, because pastels usually just sit on the top of the paper, but you do want to have some tooth so that it doesn't just fade right off the paper. It's important to build up in layers to create the illusion of depth of the piece, and to prevent, and then according to Artist Network, it is important to make sure to start the drawing with the darkest and brightest highlights. Nothing should be darker than these points. And also for the sketching purposes, I recommend dividing the visual reference into thirds to make it easier to focus on the certain features of the face. And do not start your coloring process until you've got all your proportions and values done correctly. So according to Mel Staubin, a comprehensive review written by them from Drawing Fan, the PanPastels are soft oil pastels similar to chalk or chalk pastel, but can be blended like watercolors. They perform regularly to oil pastels, but instead of oil pastels, they come in a pan instead of a tube. Also, now I'm adding the hair right now. It's really important that you focus on the direction that it's going in. And like Kathy Arbor stated, it's a very platinum blonde color, so you want to make sure you get the colors in correctly. I'm just applying titanium white to it. Anyways, back to the pastels. They also have amazing light fastness and high color pigmentation. And also they are ideal for blending colors on skin because of the soft textures and their creamy consistency. And they're easy erasable and do not require heavy prep work like oil, and come in their pan to prevent each color from staying separate. Now basically what I'm doing is just adding more details in. Now I'm starting on the skin, on the dress, and adding details. I use kind of a paint method for this technique. And a bit about the history of the pastels. So the earliest works of using pastels go back to the Renaissance era in Italy. In the 17th century, a French artist, Roger de Piles, described pastels as a paint that lacked some of the components of oil paintings, but had better light fastening rates because oils would crack, yellow, and peel. The first artist to be internationally recognized for works in pastels was Rosala Bolivar, and the pastels are best known for their vibrancy and richness even in old times. Now I'm just adding more details to the eyes because it's really important to focus on it until you get it correctly. And here's the final result. It takes many hours to get it look realistic. And thank you for watching, and please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.